started off as a backyard farming that entails snail farming, a bit of maize here and there. 2 years on, became a commercial farm, and of course, challenges led to solutions, which made him to decide to add value to the farm produce. I'm talking about the farmer and the CEO of Vokia Foods and Farms. Here in the Volta region, we are visiting Vokia Farms, and of course we are presently in the factory to share the story of how it all started way back in 2016. From completing UCC to becoming a teaching assistant, he decided to return to the village and start something impactful. He says his story is a story of resilience. My name is Enyonam, and this is the Ghanaian Farmer, live on Joy Prime Television and of course on our YouTube channel. Stay tuned. We are going for a quick breather. When we come back, we'll be talking to Farmer Azumah to tell us more about what it takes to do what we are seeing today. Is it easy or difficult? Is it worth it? The challenges, the setbacks, how do we get around it? Ghana is on the verge of turning our food systems into something quality, sustainable, and of course very attractive. I'll be right back after this and we'll delve into the story. Stay tuned. So let's get to know the history of this specific unique brand that is causing a revolution in the food industry. For now, if it's anything that has to do with your breakfast, then your best bet is Vokia Foods. And sitting next to me is the CEO, Farmer Azumah.
Yes, madam.
The party, I hope this man did party December. You should wait for me. He said I should come for my own. So I'm here. But thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Let's get to know you first before we come to what is happening here. What is your background?
I did social science, BS social science from the University of Cape Coast, and also my secondary school, I did general arts. Then I also recently completed a postgraduate diploma in community development. So basically my background is not related to agric.
Nothing at all?
No.
You were supposed to be in social welfare and you ran away to the Volta region. All right, so per a bit of inquisitive here and there, I learned Vokia Foods started as a backyard farming.
Yeah.
What were you doing by then, and in which year is this?
I think we started way back in 2016.
Okay.
Where after completing my national service from the University of Cape Coast as a teaching assistant, and I decided to return to the community to start farming. Okay. Actually, it was a decision that was criticized by many. My parents and even colleagues mocked me. They expect you to wear the tie and sit in the office. But the main reason why I returned to the community was because I noticed the youth were into gambling. There is also high rural urban migration. The youth go into the city, and because of the mindset, the youth are not returning back to the community to work. And I believe if you want to change and bring jobs closer to the people, then you must use what the people are into. Exactly. And also bring the jobs, make the greater impact. And I believe agric is the way. So I came back with no knowledge in agric, and picked a few snails, about 50 pieces, and started reading about them on social media, and posting, talking about, elogizing about snail farming and doing all kinds of backyard farming for almost 2 years. Not knowing where to start, how to start, but gradually with lessons from YouTube and other practitioners, I picked it up, and we're doing pepper and other kinds of backyard farming. This is one plot or some kind of, and even the revenue is nothing to drive, to take home. So gradually we went into maize farming. Okay. 1 acre, 2 acre, you try, you fail. Yeah. The heaviest, my biggest failure was about 100 acres maize farm, which all of them was gone. And also, what happened? Was it fire or lack of rain, or? Not lack of rain. there was a bumper harvest.
Okay.
So in terms of storage, in terms of drying facilities,
none
existed.
didn't have.
None was in the community.
Okay.
So all was gone, and even the poultry farmers were even moving away from even buying. So you have to count your losses and pick it up. And we decided that no, we don't want to continue to farm and sell in the raw state. Let's begin to think of value addition.
Okay.
And we did some market surveys about our products, and that was in the Volta region, 5 major towns, and 6 products actually came up. So we tried 2 of the products based on the feedback from the field, and it was working. And we are a company that is customer focused. So most of the feedback from the field, quickly we implement them, and gradually we roll out other products based on our capacity. We roll out other products.
Okay.
And
Now,
we have 6 at the moment.
Now, after being a teaching assistant, you came back to the community, and then you went into backyard farming, snail, a bit of maize here and there, and you did that for a year or 2.
That's from 2016 to 2023.
Okay.
So the factory itself was in full force from 2023.
Okay.
The research was done in 2022. So we piloted the product in getting to the end of 2022.
Right.
So all what you see here is 2023 factory.
Okay. That's clarified. But my question is, a teaching assistant, to go into food processing, you need a lot of things. You just took me on a few tours. I saw a lot of machines. And how did you come by the funding? Or when you start, how were you doing the processing? Was it manually? And even the knowledge to add value to, this is cassava flour.
Yeah.
The knowledge to do this, how did you get it? Because you have nothing to do with food processing or agriculture.
Yeah. I keep saying that it's not all about money. If you are going to something, sometimes you have to use your knowledge, monetize your knowledge. So way back in national service, my strengths were in teaching. My strength was in guiding businesses to grow.
Right.
SMEs, I have that strength.
Okay.
So I monetize my knowledge. I assess your business. I look at what you need, and I provide the guidance. You pay me.
Okay.
So I raise capital from those services.
From consulting?
From consulting.
Okay.
Then also, one way I raise capital is being patient. I believe in clawback. And also excessive humanizing. You don't humanize when you are starting a
Hello,
project.
my team.
You don't humanize when you are starting a project because it takes capital away from your business. And also materialism. Right. Buying things that you don't need now. These are things that take capital away from you when you are growing. To the extent that I have to sell everything that I have, things that I know they are expensive. I have to sell them. So right now it appears I don't go to party. I prioritize the business of everything. And whatever business the business generates, quickly you plow back. Exactly. And multiply effect. Right. That's how can the business grow. With the business, I'm not the whole person. I run a business with my wife. Okay. She's the director of operations. And she also has home economics background. Okay. And so we build on her capacity, knowledge, so that she brings from the value addition perspective to the business, whilst I bring management, organizational structure, leading the business directly to where it's supposed to go. I'm responsible for mobilizing resources. So over the years, we have worked with a number of businesses that supported us. That was recent one in 2023. Okay. That is a matching grant, from GIZ. With such a matching grant, we're supposed to bring some amount of money. So we're able to raise about 500,000 studies. They also bring in some funding around 250,000 studies. Right. So basically, that's how we grow the business, and also with a lot of personal investment. Awesome, awesome. This is what we call marrying rights. Yeah, he brought management, wife he brought experience and knowledge, and they've joined together. Now, my question is, you are specialized in sort of breakfast kind of meal. Yeah. Why this? People are doing stuff like
Banku. Yes, I've seen the cassava flour and other things. But why more of the breakfast foods products?
No, okay. It was actually based on the research we developed. We want to understand customers' perception about value-added product and, in terms of grains and also in terms of cassava. And per the outcomes of the research, you see that people are much particular about early food to give the body energy, to have a focused mind before they can get to work.
Okay.
So we believe that technically everybody eats.
Yeah.
And the food industry, breakfast is something that you have to give to the people. And even if you have to give to the people, the nutrient content must be perfect, the quality must be perfect, energize the body before you have a sound mind at work.
Exactly.
That's why we move towards the breakfast.
All right.
Product,
The raw materials you use, for instance, this cassava flour is made of what?
The cassava flour is mainly cassava.
Just cassava. What variety of cassava do you use?
There's a particular variety from the Agric Ministry, which is recently introduced.
Right.
Yeah, it's what we.
Okay. What I want to ask is the raw materials you use, from the maize to the cassava to the other things. Do you grow them on your farm, or you have smallholder farmers that work with you?
Okay, we have two models.
Okay.
20% of the raw materials that we use actually comes from our farm. And because of the volumes of orders that we have to meet, we are unable to supply 100% from our farm. So we have a partnership with the smallholder farmers across. So smallholder farmers supply 80% of the raw material, from wheat to rice to maize to tiger nuts, all the kinds of grains that we use, sorghum, soya. We use all kinds of raw material. So these smallholder farmers, some are groups, some are individuals. So we should be working with over 50 farmer groups.
Okay.
So you can even imagine a multiplier effect of the number of people that we are working with directly, taking grains from them. And the challenge they face in the district or in the area is drying challenges. So as a factory in the community, a ready market for them, you guarantee markets. They have the courage, determination to produce more for you to take it up.
What does it take to become a supplier to your company? If I am growing maize or cassava and I want to join the number of farmers who work with you, what protocol do you take me through to meet your standard?
Okay, because we are very strict on meeting compliance. We work with FDA, we work with GSA, we work with other key people in the value chain of agro-processing, and because this is food, so we have a supplier approval agreement that the supplier must go through. We also have a strict traceability system in place. So for instance, a typical supplier like you, we come to your farm, we look at things that you use to grow your crop, we monetize the kind of fertilizer you use, whether organic or inorganic. We also look at now your final produce, where you store them, and how you supply. Are they weevils free? The impurities, we look at stones and all those things before you supply them. The kinds of grades of the various grades of raw material you supply to us, we look at all those things.
Okay.
You agree with our agreements, you sign, and you become a supplier. You put it in a system. So it gives us the room to trace whatever we are bringing in and what we are using to produce the final product, so that if there are issues and the issues are coming from you, we have to also ban you from becoming a supplier.
Okay. Now, most of the farmers, or 60-70% of farmers, are smallholder farmers. It means they depend on rain-fed farming. So as a factory that needs this raw material every day or every week to process, how do you fill that gap?
Okay, so that was our main challenge when we were growing.
Yes.
Because you don't have the capacity to store 6 months, 7 months.
Yes.
But now we have a bit of capacity that we can buy about 4 months grains ahead. So even if there are shortages in the system, we should still be in operation.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So on a regular day, what time does production start? I mean, let's say you're going to produce the cassava flour or the Tom Brown. what is the regular typical production day looking like to get this final product? Is it in a day or days?
No, okay. In the past, it was challenging.
Okay.
We sometimes take like 8 days to produce one particular product.
Right.
Because were you doing manual production, drying the open, and even using public milling. We started using public milling, where you have to carry things on your head.
Yes, and go and mill.
And all this was against FDA standard.
The practice.
The quality of the product you are not guaranteed. The safety you are not guaranteed, because at the public milling, all kinds of things are milled there.
Exactly.
So, and it's inconvenience as well. So we decided to invest in machines, build the capacity, train the people on standard operating procedures as well. Now we do everything in-house. We don't also do the sun dry any longer, where birds can quickly
come and eat.
Exactly. So at our factory now, that 8 hours of producing a particular product has reduced to 2 days. Some of them.
Wow.
Now some machines are in,
right.
So it means that 2 days now is
reduce.
1 day. So basically, we have invested in machines to do that. A typical day we start from 8. Production starts. They have their production meeting. The first meeting is from the supervisor that look at pre-operational checklist, the health and safety of the workers.
Exactly.
Whether they're neatly dressed, whether they have any cuts, whether they will permit them to go to the factory or reassign them. Then check all the machines, do a line clearance, then wait for the production meeting handled by the production director, where they share them to various units, assign a batch. So if it is today, they are producing 2-3 batches. They give them, okay, take your batch, go for raw material requisition, then the process starts. So by 8 o'clock, by 5 p.m., we should leave the factory. So by 4:30, that way, then things should be the batches should be completed.
Right. So. Okay, so you're still watching the Ghanaian Farmer on Joy Prime Television. My name is Enyonam. If you missed on Joy Prime on Sunday 2 p.m., you should catch us live on our YouTube channel and watch everything that you've missed on TV. Of course, you can join us on Radio Gold every Sunday 2 p.m. as well. I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, we'll talk more about capacity, okay, on a week or in a day. What is the volume of these finished products that are produced? Of course, when it comes to the branding, is it locally sourced or it is from elsewhere? These and many more are we going to be touching on. Marketability, anything that there is to know about food processing. I'll delve into that right after this break. Stay tuned. So thanks for staying. If you just tuned in, this is the Ghanaian Farmer. Get interactive on our social media platform, LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course on Instagram as the Ghanaian Farmer. Go on YouTube and enjoy all our videos. This week, we are all the way in Ho. In fact, this is our first episode in the new year 2025. And we found ourselves in the factory called
Vokia
Foods. You know, I have to say it more often so that I can get used to it. So now let's look at the capacity of the factory. Is it daily or weekly? What is the volume of finished product you produce?
Okay. For now, we have a 1 ton capacity to produce for the finished product. That's for each product. That's the capacity. We have also received some calls for export.
Right.
So we bring in further machines, hopefully by end of February, where we have to increase our 1 ton capacity to 2 to 3 tons on a daily basis, basically. Okay.
Now, what went into your packaging? And this packaging, is it sourced from Ghana or you bring it from elsewhere?
All our package materials are from Ghana.
Okay.
We have factories in Accra that are actually producing them. So basically, we try as much as possible to limit imports.
Okay.
And also buy things from Ghana. You can see from machines. Some of the machines, most of them are locally made. Yeah. So that we can empower local factories. So that they can also produce more. And improve on the local economy.
I see. Now, the machines you're using, from the dryer, the miller, and all these things, they are made of steel. Is it steel?
Yeah.
So it means it doesn't rust?
No. These are food grade materials that are meeting the standard from GSA or FDA.
But do you do maintenance to this machine, and how often are you supposed to maintain it or replace them?
Okay. We have a pre-operational checklist.
Right.
We also have a maintenance schedule for all machines at the factory. So some of the machines are placed on a monthly maintenance schedule. Some of the machines are placed on daily checks before production begins in the pre-operational checklist.
Okay.
So the supervisor is in charge of that.
Yes.
And we also have some team leads are assigned to certain machines. So once they have done their pre-operational checklist, I receive those commands in my system to see whether they have done it. So randomly, I set more or less like a quality assurance officer coming to check whether these guys are doing the right thing.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about the marketing. Among all this product, which one is the highest that you produce more than others?
Oh, okay. The cereal mix, Tom Brown, is the highest we produce.
The Tom Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Followed by the Hausa Koko.
Uh-huh.
Then the corn grades, Ekoegbemi, takes third.
Right.
Then cassava flour.
Oh, a bit here.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about the distribution channels. Where are the main places where anybody can just walk in and pick up this product?
Oh, okay. Even before then, our major challenge was marketing initially.
Yes.
Where people don't know the brand. We have competitors in the system.
Yes.
And we have to invest in marketing, where we invest in radio adverts.
Yes.
We invest in billboards.
Yes.
We invest in online marketing. And also we adopt one-on-one sales strategy. We do sponsorships as well. We also do product activations in markets. The reason is that our competitors will just come and dump the product and
go.
1 month, then they return to come and supply. So that when they return, the product is not moving. Their product is not moving.
Yes.
Because customers don't know the product. So what we do is that our one-on-one activations is pushing the product. Customers are knowing the brand. Then the shop owner too, his stock is also reducing.
Yes.
And those who are in charge of distribution go in to distribute. So basically, this is a strategy we have adopted. We are in Volta region. We're in all the way to OT region.
Okay.
Then also getting to Aflau, then entering to Togo now. When they talk about Ho, we are in the Stadium Gate Shopping Mall, the major malls, Lolo supermarket, a lot of shops on the market. Even we target the major shops. We target even if you're a tabletop seller, we have varieties of sizes and the products.
Okay.
So even if you don't have money to buy the bigger sizes, like 40 cities,
you can still buy the small ones.
Yeah,
okay. Basically. All right. So like you mentioned, you have competitors who are into these things. Even some of them are from outside or beyond Ghana.
Yeah.
How do you still position yourself to stand the competition in the markets?
Oh, okay. It's all about understanding the consumer preference or the consumer want. And also, like I said, the product testing.
Okay.
Most of these big guys have already established a make name.
Exactly.
So they don't just go and dump the product there. But what we are doing is a sponsorship, taking advantage of key programs for the people to taste the product. One, the quality is guaranteed. The taste, you love it. The pricing too. For instance, somebody supplying from Accra will give it to you at, let's say, maybe 30 cities, but we are giving it to 25 cities. So look at the difference.
Exactly.
And you are going to sell it probably around 28, 27. So you are going to make more profits.
Exactly.
You are buying lower, cheaper price too. So the prices, the quality, and also now we are able to buy and store the raw materials ahead of time. Okay. So we also control price. So we see prices increasing here and there. You don't see us also increasing the price of our product because we are factoring in all those things ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Now let's talk about the various sessions you have, the department, who are in charge of what, and how important these roles are to someone who is aspiring to do what you're doing. What are some of the departments that are very necessary if you want to be in a food processing business?
All departments are necessary, from the cleaner to security to production to even the supplier. Yeah. To production units, packaging units, and the marketing team. All of them are necessary. you should be able to know how to bring them together,
right,
so that they know that we are working in a team. Because if you try to make a department more important than the other, you'll be hugely affected.
Okay.
Even recently, over the weekend, we have to engage in team building exercises, where you have to divide them to teams, and they build the tallest tower challenge to see how they can manage resources efficiently, how they can communicate among themselves, how they can actually work together. Basically, how they can be creative on the field, how they can be problem solving. So all these departments are unique. So what we do is to build the capacity. Building the capacity, we look at the standard operating procedures. We look at how we can build the capacity of the cleaner. Right. Because his role is so paramount, like others as well. How you even clean in the factory is not like the way you clean elsewhere. How you handle things, how your movement, traffic flow. How you go to the packaging unit is not the way you handle the production unit. It's not the way you handle the premise. Addressing the training, building the capacity of the security. You're the first point of call. So if visitors come, how you receive them, how you monitor movement of goods in and goods out. All those things are key. Now, when it comes to production team, these are people who are handling raw materials. How do they handle the raw materials? How do they observe the raw material? How do they accept or reject all the quality checklist? You have to build your capacity. The marketing, they are getting to the field. They are representing your brand. So, of course, they also need training on customer engagement, how they engage customers, how even on the spot you can quickly engage the customer, talk to the customer, for the customer to feel happy before you even sell your brand to the customer. All those things are
very important.
Very important. Then management. How do you manage the people that you have? Not about just shouting on them. How do you manage them? Because some people have the lion character, some have sheep character, some have goat character. So how do you put all these people in a pen so that there will not be chaos? And you get the best out of people. So that the lion character will not be shutting down somebody who is going to be probably a goat character. So
I see. So everybody matters, actually. And then you have to train them to come to the level where there can be teamwork, and at the end of the day, the goal will be achieved. Have you taken your product beyond Ghana? To either exhibitions, or someone bought it came here and then going out and bought it away?
As for our product, individual customers buy our product and send to the US, send to UK. And sometimes say, Azumah, why is your product not in the US? Why is your product not in the UK? I brought my product here and people are loving it. Fantastic. So now we are working with some key stakeholders that can come in, and even some people that are already into the export markets have approached us to see how we can begin to supply them and export to the UK market, Canadian market, or USA, basically. So it is a work in progress and for that. And we are also building our capacity in terms of expansion. We look at building our uplifting our production facility, so that when these orders come, we can be able to meet them, basically.
So it's clearly that you have plans of exporting, but others are also of the view that let's feed Ghana, or let's focus on the domestic market than looking into the international market. How do you respond to that as a businessman?
If you bring in more money, more dollars into the country, it also addresses the issue of how we are facing this pressure on the dollar. You bring money to the country, this is what foreign currency. So yes, of course, from the business point of view, if you don't have that capacity, it's better off starting small, than growing your base and grow. But if you have the capacity to export, then it helps the country largely. So we are building our capacity, we are building our base, but if the export markets come, we'll take it.
So in dry seasons like this, we are still waiting for the rain to come. How are you getting the things you need to keep producing?
We travel all the way to the north. We travel all the way to Togo. So some raw materials come from Togo as well.
I see. You have to go that far? In times like this? Wow. All right. Now let's talk about staff recruitment. Do you purposely recruit people who are studying food science or this thing, or randomly you just recruit people and then you put them on the job training to become master of this? How do you go about? How important is it when I'm going into this space, food processing? My recruitment, what do you advise me to do?
Me, I don't buy into degrees.
Okay.
I don't care whether you have masters in food science or not.
Okay.
By our strategy, I believe in on-the-job training.
Right.
So even our supervisor, she has a SHS certificate.
Oh, wow.
And she joined the factory as a factory hand. And she was promoted from factory hand, moved above the ranks to factory supervisor. So that tells you that we believe in building the capacity of the person to rise up. And such a person, if she continues, I don't see any reason why she shouldn't become a production manager in the company.
Okay.
So that's what we look at. There are certain positions like the quality assurance officer.
Right.
That one, we believe somebody should have knowledge in food science and that can come in and also do the job. But of course, even if you have experience in some other factories, 6 years, 7 years, of course, it's all about experience,
Right.
not about how you acquired in school.
I agree with you. But on generally, what will be your overview of Ghana's food processing industry or the space? What level are we now from where you stand as a stakeholder in that space? What level are we and what do you think we can do better to improve and also scale up what we are doing?
We're not doing well. We do a lot of import. The last time I was checking the Ghana Export Promotion Authority website and also other key websites. There are a lot of, and then also the statistical survey. There are a lot of importation in terms of these food products, breakfast products on the market. And also locally produced products are not also well patronized. Some due to high prices of the products.
Yeah.
They are not, if you compare the two, the prices are so high.
The imported one is cheaper than the locally produced one.
That is also one. And also the Ghanaian mentality of buying something foreign. But now it's a bit changing.
Okay.
Because if you tell the purchaser or the buyer about your product, how it is produced, how it is locally sourced, they know the process it passed through. They feel to be associated. They feel to associate themselves with the product because they know the source, how it is done, so they can buy and consume. So that is the message we put out there. So that mindset is changing, and I think people are. It's all about branding. If you're able to brand your product well, people would buy. And the message is clear. They'll buy.
How would you describe the journey from 2016 to what we are seeing now? How would you describe the journey? What would you say has been the biggest achievement? And of course, what are the challenges you are still trying to overcome?
Our journey, I would say, is a journey of resilience. A journey of resilience basically because we went through a lot of challenges, how we started from the scratch, with no support, but monetizing your knowledge, and also how you're able to make impact. Some of the people around, when they give testimony, they said, I am jobless in the community, people mock me anyhow. Some of them are single parents. So the impacts we create, how you make people laugh because they have a job, stable job, that is my biggest achievement. Yeah, I can say that's my biggest achievement.
Are there any hurdles that you're still, trying to overcome in this food space?
Yes, it's our facility.
Okay.
We have 2 sites. Our current site, if we want to uplift the structures, because it was a backyard farming, and you were gradually changing one to the other, changing one to the other. Now we have some areas that you have to change, which we are working on. It's capital intensive. We also have a permanent site that in the next 6 years we want to move to. I'll take you there. You see, we started building, but it's a new site. It's quite a capital intensive. That site we want to look at where the factory is well mapped. Here you see there's a crisscrossing. You go here, you go there. But that place, it is well mapped. Where even because we prioritize working with women, our policy is to work 70% of our workers with women.
Your staff are women.
So in future, we found that even if they have children, there will be school there, daycare, These children can go to school. Basically, that's what we do. So in the next 5-6 years, we should be moving to a new site. But for now, we want to uplift our structure so that we can be able to meet higher volumes of orders.
I heard you said it's capital intensive kind of business, but then is it also worth it? Is it profitable if I should invest money into this line of business? Is it worth it?
Anything value addition, there is much more profit than just selling a raw state.
Yeah. You are changing my mind. So tell me more about it. But you know, the value addition also is a lot.
Oh yeah.
The machines, the packaging materials, the team. So if I'm not at that level, what do you want me to do?
You see, most of the times we start business taking off profit.
Right.
You must invest in the business, wait patiently for the business to grow.
Exactly.
Break even at a certain point. You have to know when you are breaking even.
Yeah.
Whether it is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years before begin to think of what the profit that the business is making. But I can guarantee you that any investment that you put in, we making over. Some of the product gives you 100% profits.
Oh,
margin.
really?
Some of them give you 50% profit margin per product.
In this your 9-year journey, at which year did you realize that now my company is bringing in business, is bringing in profit? It's been 9 years already. At which year?
We have not breaking even. The business break even in 2023. Ending of 2023.
Just
so
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
All these years.
So around 2023, from 2016?
Yeah.
2023? Before you started seeing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All this was the business was sucking money.
Right. Yeah. So this is a matter of patience,
It's patience.
Now I understand the word resilience. It's a matter of patience, then you will get there.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of young Africans who are in a hurry to get out of the country, who don't believe they can strive and succeed here. For you who had gone through UCC, in fact, you got teaching assistant, you could have become a lecturer or even a professor by now.
No.
And you decided to come to the village and start farming. What would be that message you want to leave to the young Ghanaian who is very much confused and still contemplating? Is there a future for me in Ghana? What do you have to tell such a person?
There is future for everyone, depending on your industry and also depending on your patience level. Most of the times, the mistake we do as young people is that we just jump into the business. That's one. And also the people from the diaspora, they come, they just dump their money into the business, that they don't assess the people that they are putting their money into, and at the end, there are a lot of problems. People run away with your money.
Exactly.
Or your farm has collapsed. The farm is not doing well. These are things that is associated with such investment, and they go back. Because they said you give them good news, that come home, invest.
They come and the story is different.
The story is different. So what I can say is that identify the business you want to do, then plan. Because I noticed that most of them, they are in haste.
Yes. They don't have time.
They don't have time. There was some calls I've received from the diaspora. They said the person wants support. So I was trying to direct the person, this is what he's supposed to do. Do A before B.
It's like you're wasting his time.
Sometimes they want to do Z
before A.
It doesn't
work like that.
So to me, I back out.
Right.
Do your thing. When you fall, you come back.
You come back.
So when you come to Ghana, whatever you want to do, plan. If it is you want to do high quality cassava flour, plan from A to Z before you even start.
Okay. Okay.
Then you know at each stage what is needed to be done.
Right.
You don't start before you will be faced with issues.
Okay.
With that, you are guaranteed. Then you know that, okay, these are the people I'm bringing on board to do this. This is supposed to do this. This is what I'm supposed to get to by in a month's time, in 2 months. If you do that planning, I don't see why you should fail.
Interesting. Farmer Azumah, the co-founder of Vokia Foods, and he shared the journey with us. And he said, the diasporas, please take it easy. When you come, I've been telling you, I'm even surprised Azumah is saying it. Take your time. That's 2 weeks. I only have 2 weeks. I only have 3 weeks. You can't achieve anything. Especially when you want to buy a land and you're in a hurry, you want to buy land within 2 weeks. For where? Ghana here. Then people will chop your money and then you go back.
Yeah.
But how do we find you? Do you do training? Are you available for partnership? For someone who is watching this and says, Azumah, I want to give this amount to be a shareholder or a partner or investor. Are you open for that? Do you also do training also? And is the factory open for tourism? Because the Ghanaian Farmer agro-tourism, can you see my chest? Look at the word, don't look at. So tell me, how do we find you, and any other information you want to leave for us before we go?
We do build capacity for businesses, especially SMEs in the value chain. My past 8 years in the industry, I noticed that most of these SMEs are not fully compliant. They do things anyhow, basically. And if there are issues with your product, you can't even handle them. So we build capacity in conflict management, organizational structure. We build capacity in standard operating procedures as well. Then when it comes to partnership, we have a plan. And by 2027, we are open to receive equity investment. But what we are doing now is to increase our valuation on the market, so that when we said, okay, bring your money, we know what we are calling for. So 2027,
that news will be out there.
Yeah, we are open for
How do we find you on social media before we go?
Okay, Vokia Foods, Vokia Farms is on Facebook, is on Instagram, Vokia Farms. Is on, Facebook and Instagram. That's where we are. Our website, www.vokiafarms.com. Myself was Azumah. I'm also on social media.
You'd like to share your number?
Okay, 024 192 6584. 024 192 6584.
Okay, so Farmer Azumah is what I call him, and he's a co-founder of Vokia Foods or Vokia Farms. And for them, anything breakfast you are sorted. Of course, there is something for lunch, which is the kukunte abetie. I am part of that. This is the Ghanaian Farmer. All we do is to tell the story, amplify the hard works of our Ghanaian farmers, and of course beyond. And so if you're out there, you are a Ghanaian, you want to go into either farming, marketing, you want to go into value addition, and that's what he said. Learn, train, take time, and start, step by step. You will get it. It's no rush. I mean, for how many years? Just 2 years ago, 2023, before they are raking in some profit, it means it takes time. You know, when I'm reinvesting my business, I'm like, and you know. I was telling my team yesterday how much I'm spending, and I was crying, but he's giving me a lot of hope that, you know what, don't worry, the profit will start coming very soon. I thank you so much for making time with me. Happy New Year to wherever you're watching us from. But remember to subscribe and, of course, share the video. There's a lot happening in Ghana. If you're not aware, just come down here, join the tourism, and we'll take you places. I'll see you some other time. Until then, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.